playing at Field 1 as the nightcap feature. But with the weather, they put BC and Quebec over here with us at Field 2. Right now, over in Field 1, it's the John Brown's Faucets versus Kelly's Pub. And we got a substitution here for Medwich. So Medwich wasn't able to shake that off. Took one high and tight, and hopefully he'll be okay for Sooke come the playoffs. Trying to find out who this is that just went in. They don't have him on our lineup sheet or on our roster. Check that, Todd Belton. So Belton goes to play second base. I'm not sure who went out to left field. We'll try to find out here as we go along. That's where we're at right now. Here's Mathieu Waugh. Waugh has had an outstanding tournament. At one point, I was doing a Quebec game yesterday, and he had reached base in 8 of 10 appearances to start the tournament. Waugh batting .333, 4 for 12. He has 7 walks, so that's the big number for Mathieu Waugh. 7 walks. He's been on base with the 4 hits 11 times through the first 5 games. That one up high, 2-0. He has an outstanding eye at home plate, needless to say. Very calm approach up there. He is in control at the plate. And there for a strike, 2-1. So Tyson Barkman on the mound. He's been one of the main pitchers so far for BC. Swung on by Waugh. That is deep to left center, right center, and gone. Mathieu Waugh. A leadoff home run, a Bell Alliant bomb. And it's 3-1 just like that. Quebec on the board. Waugh's first home run of the tournament. A no-doubter to right center. So 3-1 on the blast by Mathieu Waugh. And now here's Mathieu Lessard, the shortstop. It's been a battle for Lessard at the plate. Just 0 for 5 is Matt. He does have 4 walks. 2 teams really playing well right now. Again, we mentioned Sooke with the 3 wins and the 2 losses. They've won 3 in a row. Mathieu Lessard, Team Quebec lost their first 2 games. Won 2 games yesterday. Beat Nova Scotia 9-2. And then beat the host team, the John Brown's Faucets, and just lost a tough one to the 2-time defending champs 3 Cheers Pub. So this is a Quebec team that comes in here playing very well right now also, and going into the playoffs very confidently. Saskatoon has been eliminated. They're the one team that will be on the outside looking in with just the 1 win. What a heartbreak story that is, Saskatoon. They lost about 4 games by 1 run. Shot down to third. And a nice play over there for Chad Bryden. So Bryden makes the play. And out 5-3 is Lessard for the first out.
Matt Greer. Third baseman, number 22, Matt Greer.
Bryden at third, Walushka at short. Medrich is your second baseman. In there for a strike. Hunter, the big slugging first baseman. Belton in left, Medwich in center, and Edgington in right. Fouled off. And the catcher is Brian Banner. So Bryden and Walushki on the left side, Medrich and Hunter on the right, and going left to right, Belton, Medrich, and Edgington. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out in the inning, the solo blast by Matthew Waugh, making this a 3-1 game. An incredible couple of days of round-robin play it has been. Just missing 2-2. Topsy-turvy play. We came into this Thursday session with 5 teams tied at 2-2. Three Cheers Pub, the one team that's kind of separated themselves with a 5-1 record through the round robin. Strikeout Matt Greer. Now here's Steve Savard. Savard batting .250 with a home run and 3 RBI. So a home run and 3 RBI with a .250 average for Steve Savard, the first baseman. The only blemish for the Three Cheers Pub was the 8-6 loss to the Sooke Loggers. 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. Savard, and should he reach, we see Jonathan Waugh. Change up out in front is Savard, 1-2. The 1-2 from Barkman. That is foul by a hair down the third base line. So they'll do it again on the 1-2. Two to 1, Kelly's Pub leads Fawcett's over there. So 2-1, Kelly's Pub leading Fawcett's. Infield 1. 2 games going on at once. Open up your 2 browsers and watch both games at once. We'll try to get them in for you. In storm-like conditions. I can only assume this is something to do with tropical storm, hurricane, whatever it is, Cristobal, passing by the region. Out in front on the changeup is Steve Savard. He's out on strikes. Quebec sends 4 men to the plate. 1 big hit, a solo blast by Matthew Waugh. 1 hit, no run, or 1 hit, 1 run, no errors, none left on base. And we'll go to the top of the second in a 3-1 game. Both teams putting up runs in their first at bat.
Après la première manche de jeu, l'équipe du Québec a
So you're on Bell Alliant Community 1. Contact information is on the screen. B. McLean Sports and Community 1 Sports at gmail.com.
At the end of this first inning,
Reach out to me.
Team BC is
Questions,
leading
comments,
by a
opinions,
score of
feedback,
3-1.
shout outs. Let me know where you're watching from,
Avance,
who you're cheering for.
pointage de
I'd love to hear from you. To keep us busy here on a chilly night, windy and raining. Here in Charlottetown, love to hear from you folks back there in beautiful Vancouver Island. And of course in Quebec. You guys, this Quebec team, they have battled back after a rough opening day. Both these teams were the storylines yesterday. And two of the hottest teams going in to the playoffs, battling for positioning. The push for double elimination, both these teams still in the hunt to try to make it to the semifinal or to the double elimination games tomorrow night.
Ben Edgington.
Top 4 teams will play tomorrow. The 5th and 6th place teams will play elimination games on Saturday. So to the top of the second, here's Ben Edgington, Nick Medwich, and Chris Walushka. Chad Bryden, should anyone reach. First pitch from Rob Schweier. Just off the plate, 1-0. Up high, 2-0. Rob Schweier talking to the umpire, not happy with the balls and strikes. The 2-0, swinging through on the 2-0 is Edgington. Thought he had a pitch to dial up, couldn't catch up. 2-1. Here comes Schweier. Bouncing ball, foul down the first base line, 2-2. The 2-2. Swinging and missing is Edgington. He's out on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Schweier.
Now batting for the Sooke Loggers is the center fielder, number 4, Nick Medwich.
So here's Nick Medwich. Medwich batting from the left side. He's a center fielder. In there for a strike. Medwich 1 for 9 so far in the tournament. And the rain pretty much has stopped now. That drizzle mist we had going on has come to a conclusion for the moment, but that wind continuing to howl. Again, big gusts getting up into the 50-kilometer range. Expected to persist overnight. Chopper over the head of Schweier, and a great play by the shortstop Lassard. So Medwich out 6-3.
Now at bat for Team BC, the shortstop, number 11, Chris Walushka.
Greer is the 3rd baseman, Lassard the shortstop, Lebrec at second base. Pitch just off the plate, 1-0. Steve Savard, your first baseman. Jonathan Waugh in right, Matthew Waugh in center, and Jean Darvaux in right field. So Waugh in left, Mathieu Waugh in center, John Darvaux in right field. And the catcher is Joe McCleary. Back to the top of the order for Walushka. He struck out in the first. Swings and misses here, 1-2. Walushka so far 7 for 14. He's batting .500 with a home run and 3 RBIs. He's the shortstop. Here comes the 1-2. On the outside portion, called strike 3. Walushka strikes out for the second time. So Walushka now 7 for 15 in the tournament. No hits, no runs, no errors, none left on base. 2 strikeouts for Rob Schweier. He now has 4. And we go to the bottom of the second with Jonathan Waugh and Joe McCleary and Jean-Pierre Savard coming up.
Softball Canada would like to thank the organizing committee and its dedicated volunteers for working so hard to make these Canadian Championships successful and fun. Softball Canada voudrait remercier le comité organisateur et ses bénévoles pour leur travail dévoué afin de faire un succès de ces championnats canadiens.
So the great play by Lessard at short. 2 strikeouts for Schweier. And we're off to the bottom of the second. Two to 1. Kelly's Pub still leading John Brown's Faucets over there on field 1. So Tyson Barkman out there for his second inning of work.
The left fielder, numéro 11, number 11,
Jonathan Waugh, Joe McCleary, and Jean-Pierre Savard. Just off the plate, 1-0 to Jonathan Waugh. Waugh batting .167. He's got 2 hits and 12 at-bats. We're in the bottom of the second here. Front field 1. Things calming down a bit after that explosive first inning. Both pitchers trying to get into a groove. 1-1. Tyson Barkman. Change up off the outside of the plate and swinging and missing. Here's Jonathan Waugh. Try to reach out for it, couldn't connect. And here comes the 1-2 to Waugh. Barkman bounces one in front of home plate. Barkman has that long, slow delivery and then just explodes off the rubber towards home plate. Joe Waugh, or Jonathan Waugh, Joe McCleary is Jean-Pierre Savard in the bottom of the second. Strike 3. Waugh swings and misses. And that is Barkman's 3rd strikeout.
Le receveur, the catcher, numéro 25, number 25, Joe McCleary.
Here's Joe McCleary, the catcher. McCleary having a great tournament so far, batting .385, 5 for 13. He's got a home run and 3 ribbies. And they're going to go out and talk to Tyson Barkman about how they want to approach Joe McCleary. B. McLean Sports on the Twitter. Would love to hear from you. community1sports@gmail.com. 1 out in the inning, and here is McCleary. Here comes Barkman. It's the second time that pitch is just missed on the inside corner, and Brian Banner hasn't been able to hold on to it. I'm not sure if that's affecting the umpire's judgment on the pitch, but just missing on that inside portion. So 1-0 here on Joe McCleary. Fouled high down the first base side, now to play. So 1-1 coming up on McCleary. The rain now picking up once again. You can see from our backstop camera the umpire and batter's pants blowing in the wind. That tree to center field fouled on the bunt try down the third baseline. But that big tree way out in center field, just to the left of center, you can just see that blowing around out there. Give you an idea how windy it is here right now. Nighttime here in Charlottetown. Hope you guys are having a good supper hour there in Vancouver Island, just about 6 o'clock. And around 9 o'clock for you guys in Quebec. Wherever you're watching, coast to coast or around the world, love to hear the more exotic locales. For joining us from somewheres abroad. 2-2. McCleary gets a hold of one. Deep to right center and gone. Joe McCleary has his second home run of the tournament. A bomb over the right center wall. And it is 3-2. So 2 solo home runs. One by Mathieu Roy, one by Joe McCleary. And it's a 1-run game.
Number 88. Jean-Pierre Savard.
Joe McCleary got that big Jim Thome-like batting stance and the big rip. Gets into that pitch, the 2-2 one, or the 2-2 pitch. And it is gone. Jean-Pierre Savard, the DP. In a 1-run game now. Jean-Pierre batting .222. 2 hits in 9 at-bats. He's got 2 RBIs. Hello out there to Joni Boimier and Whitey as well. Thank you very much. The follows on Twitter. One and one here on Jean-Pierre. 1 out in the inning. We'll see Jean Darvaux after this. Back to the pitcher. Nicely done by Barkman. Flips it over to first. Jean-Pierre Savard goes 1-3. So a nice play by Barkman.
Maintenant au bâton pour l'équipe du Québec. Le voltigeur du champ droit, the right fielder.
Here's Jean Darvaux.
Number 27.
Darvaux batting .222.
Jonathan Darvaux.
A home run and 1 RBI. He's been prone to the strikeout. He's got 6 so far this tournament. So Barkman trying to settle down after giving up 2 solo shots. Say hello to Tammy Moran cheering for Sooke from beautiful Victoria. Chris Walushka's mom, Tammy, and Ed and Florence Moran. So Tammy, Ed, and Florence all there in Victoria. Hope you guys are having better weather than we are. I'm sure you are in that beautiful part of the country. Thank you very much, Tammy, Ed, and Florence. Cheering on Walushka and the Loggers. One and one. Coming up on Jean Darvaux. So a 1-run game in the bottom of the second. Chopped down the first base line and just foul. Played cleanly there by Hunter. He was ready to tag out Darvaux, but foul called. Well, if last night is any indication, settle in. The Sooke Loggers last night played a 3-hour game against Three Cheers Pub. That one just went on and on and on. A great game, but it was a long one. Deep into the night with Chris Abbott from Field 1. One or 2-2. Barkman a strike away from getting out of the second. He's got it. Darvo out on strikes. The Sooke Loggers send 4 men to the plate. They get 1 hit. It was a big one, a home run for Joe McCleary. Or the Quebec, Team Quebec, sorry. Joe McCleary, the second home run of the game for Quebec.
Après la deuxième moitié de la deuxième manche, l'équipe du Québec a 1 point sur 1 coup frappé, pas d'erreur, pas de coureur laissé sur les buts. At the bottom of the second inning, Team Quebec scored 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. And the score at the completion of this second inning is Team BC 3, Team Quebec 2. Alors c'est le 3 pour l'équipe de la Colombie-Britannique et 2 pour l'équipe du Québec.
So we go to the top of the third in a 3-2 game. Programming notes for tomorrow: the double elimination games are scheduled for 6 and 8 from Field 1. That's the only games on the schedule tomorrow. Wait to see if there are any tiebreakers. But that is the schedule for tomorrow: 6 and 8, the double elimination games. That's 1 versus 4, the first place team versus the fourth place team, and the second place team versus the third place team. The winners of those games advance to the semifinals. The losers will have to play an elimination game against the 5th and 6th place teams. Bouncer, nicely played, Mathieu Lessard. And out by a hair is Chad Bryden. So Bryden out 6-3. Here's Andrew Medwich. Or check that. Medwich was substituted out for Grieve, so it was Grieve who came in for Medwich.
The right fielder, Jesse Grieve.
So Jesse Grieve came in for Medwich. So if you recall, Andrew, there's another play for Mathieu Lessard. Nicely done. 6-3 goes Grieve, first pitch swinging, 2 quick outs. Lessard has retired the last 3 players here, or 3 of the last 4 batters. That's the 4th put-out for Lessard.
Now batting for Team BC, first baseman, number 12.
But if you recall, Medwich
Hunter
took that ball on the hand, hit by a pitch on the back of the hand, and that was it for Medwich. So Jesse Grieve came in to replace him. 2-0 the count on Blake Hunter. Hunter walked and scored a run. That is in there for a strike. This is S. Lafram on Twitter. Thank you very much, S. Lafram. McCleary having a day with another Bell Alliant bomb. This time a solo job to bring Quebec back within 1. Thank you very much, Lafram. Indeed. That was a blast to right center field. This one high over the backstop and out across the way here. And Kyle Cowick, thank you very much, Kyle, reaching out on Twitter. A shout out to his boys here in PEI. Drinking a Lucky and wishing he could be here. Great stuff. Thank you very much, Kyle. And Britt Milazzo on Twitter. Thank you, Britt, for that. A shot to center field. Matthew Waugh settles under and makes the catch. 1-2-3. We'll go with the Sooke Loggers. Rob Schweier has set down 8 straight Loggers since giving up the 2 runs. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd.
Nobody was left on base.
But in the top of the 1st, Bryden had a single. Jesse Medwich got hit by that pitch. Blake Hunter walked. And then Brian Banner had a 2 RBI double. After a pass ball that scored Chad Bryden. And that gave Sooke an early 3-0 lead. But since then, Rob Schweier has mowed him down. He's retired 8 straight. And in the meantime, Quebec has hit 2 solo shots to get within a run. Stephanie Barber on the email. Good luck to the Sooke Loggers from the Edgingtons. Mom Stephanie sitting in the comfort of the living room watching the game. Thanks very much, Stephanie. Ben Edgington's mom in Vancouver. And from Ray Spouse, good luck to Sooke and Masters teammates Chad Bryden and John Bishop. Ray Spouse from beautiful Victoria.
Nous avons le deuxième but, second baseman, le numéro 9, number 9, Samuel Labrec.
And Joni Boimier checking in, cheering on Matthew Lessard. Matthew's having a day so far at shortstop, playing very well defensively. So Sam Labrec, Matthew Waugh, Matthew Lessard, and Matt Greer should anyone reach. As the rain is coming down, and the wind is a-blowing, and it is cold. It's a beautiful day if it was October. Blown back into the field of play, and that will get in. And there's our first play character or influenced by the weather in a severe way here. You know, the weather was going to start to play a role. That ball hit in foul ground, went what looked like it was going to come down for an easy catch for the third baseman Bryden. And then Walushka came over as well. And the ball got blown back into the infield, and unable to catch it was Walushka. So that'll be a single for Labrec. And he's on board at first. And again, that's the wind I mentioned, blowing left to right on your screen and getting up, according to the Weather Channel, obviously I have no idea, but getting up into gusts of 40, 50 kilometers an hour. That's what the players are contending with out there right now. A bunt down by Matthew Waugh. He is speedy, and a wild throw up the line in right field. Chugging around third and coming home to Labrec. A great relay throw, and now there's 2 Quebec players at third base. They got Waugh hung up. They will tag out Waugh. The throw comes home, and sliding in safely is Labrec. What a wild sequence that was. They waved Labrec. Quebec coach telling everybody to calm down over there. But they waved Labrec. A great relay throw on a heads-up play by the right fielder Edgington. Got to that ball quickly. 1 run does come home. Holy cow, what a wild play. The bunt by Waugh. The throw was wild towards right field. Edgington pounced on it quickly. They waved Lebrec. He was going to score, but then the relay throw got to home plate in a jiffy. So Lebrec stopped. And then at one point, Waugh and Lebrec were standing right beside each other on third base. Waugh went back to second. They tagged him out in the rundown. And then Lebrec made a break for home. And they actually had a play at the plate. But Lebrec slid in safely. Holy God. Try to recap that wild play for you. In the end, Lebrec does score. Waugh is out. I'm not going to try to score it. We'll see how many errors there were on the play. Probably just the one. Give Waugh a single as well. Actually, don't give Waugh anything. That would have been a throwing error for how they got to first. And then he thrown out in the rundown. But Lebrec does score, and we are all tied up at 3. Oh, man. A crazy play on a wild night. This has all the makings of a wild game. That is a fair ball. And down the first base line. And thrown out is Mathieu Lessard. So Lessard out on a great play by the catcher, Banner. So 2 outs in the inning.
Greer.
And a great correction here from Lafram. That was Joran Graham that came in to replace Rob Schweier in the last inning. So they brought in Joran Graham to replace Rob Schweier, and Schweier had the last 3 outs. So thanks very much to Scott Lafram for that, or to S. Lafram. Our apologies to Joran Graham fans. Here's Matt Greer. Pitch outside. I'm just hoping now that the Bella Lion Community 1 tent is going to hold up in this wind. This tent could go flying at any moment. The wind really picking up here. People with umbrellas are out. Or people in the stands. We've got some very brave Sooke Loggers fans to our left-hand side, right-hand side of the booth. They're hanging in there trying to take this one in. Bill McCleary checking in. Thank you very much again for that. Bill McCleary didn't catch that Graham substitution on the mound. Strike 3 called. Well, Barkman settles down. It gets Lessard out on the 2-3. It gets Greer out looking. And Quebec sends 4 men to the plate. They get a run on that wild play. But it could have been more, but they'll take the game-tying run for now. Chances are good. A lot more runs are going to come home here. Through 3 innings in a wild one. And hope you're enjoying from the comfort of home or wherever you are as we try to get this one in. And an absolute stormy night in Charlottetown. Obviously not that stormy. We're still playing baseball or fast pitch. But just again, the wind is howling. The rain is falling. Organizers desperate to get in these 2 games to finish off what has just been an unbelievable round-robin tournament at the championships. Mom and Dad Savory yelling from the living room in sunny Victoria. Of course you guys got sunshine out there on the West Coast. Mom and Dad Savory cheering on Victoria. Go get 'em Loggers. Thank you, Carrie Savory. Mom and Dad out there in sunny Victoria. Had the good fortune of living a couple of years in Victoria. What a place to be. Foul down the first baseline. They'll do it again. Or the 0-1 pitch, sorry.
And bat for Team BC is a catcher, number 38, Brian Banner.
So thanks to everyone who's reaching out. It's great to have you with us. Keep us warm here in beautiful Charlottetown. If you recall, our first 2 days were just absolutely perfect. But now this field, nobody needs this. This weather is not anything we need. But for the most part, this rain really has improved quality of play in terms of on the field. The field was very dusty, very hard. They had a dry spell here in Charlottetown. And it was making for some wicked hops for infielders. So this infield has really eaten up that rain, and it's helped it settle down. But right now, this is just this has to be remnants of Christabel heading by on the Atlantic coast, because the Community 1 tent is about to go flying over towards the beer tent here at the venues. And if the Community 1 tent goes flying, this broadcast is over. It's going to take out our cameraman, Matt. Two and two. There's Brian Banner. And just losing that was Joran Graham. The pitch might have flown about 5 feet in the air. So Banner, Barkman, and Belton. Banner, he had the big hit, the 2 RBI double in the first. That at the time made this a 3-0 game. Now since then, a Sooke logger has not seen first base. Foul at a play on the third base side. We'll go to another 3-2 count. Chris Abbott over there in field 1. He's up in his nice cozy press box. Looks like 5-1 over there right now, Kelly's Pub, leading John Brown's Faucets. Foul down the first base side out of play. Three and two. Shot, and that is fouled on the first base line. We're in the top of the fourth. The 3-2 Sooke Loggers versus the 2-3 Team Quebec. Ball 4 called. Banner down to first with the walk.
Now at bat for
and now here's
the Sooke Loggers.
Tyson Barkman.
Pitcher number 8, Tyson Barkman.
Barkman grounded out to short in his last at bat. Barkman, Belton, and now Edgington, assuming there's no double play. In there for a strike to Barkman. Barkman on the mound has 5 strikeouts. Grounded out to short in his last at bat. In there for a strike. And not a lot of fans sticking around for this, at least over in field 1. You see a lot of people starting to head for their cars. Barkman out on strikes.
Second baseman, number 16, Todd Belton.
So Barkman out on strikes. Banner down at first base, and here's Todd Belton. Belton struck out back in the first. Swing and a miss at the first pitch from Belton. Can't lay down the bunt. Strike two. High into the air to center field. Matthew Waugh ranges over, makes the catch in left. Belton flies out. And tagging and getting to second is Edgington.
Now batting for Team BC is the left fielder, number 15, Ben Edgington.
So the runner at second is Edgington. 2 outs. Or the runner at second, sorry, is Banner. 2 outs, and here is Edgington. Edgington struck out in the second. Gets under the glove of Lassard. The throw back to third. And a good job over there by Greer to keep it in the infield. So Lassard came over and just kind of dive bombed on him, got under his glove. Backing up the play was Lebrec, but unable to get the speedy runner at first in Edgington. So we'll see how that is scored. That would have been a tough play for Lassard regardless. Here's Nick Medwich. Nick rounded out to shortstop. Back in the second. 2 outs in the inning. Fouled off by Medwich. They're in the 5th over there at field 1. That's going to get past on the past the third baseman Greer, and coming in to score will be Banner. So Banner scores, and once again Sooke has the lead. They lead 4-3.
Now at bat for team
an RBI single for Medwich.
11, Chris Woluszka.
Medwich goes the other way to left field, scoring Banner. Edgington goes to second, and we'll go back to the top of the order with Woluszka. Woluszka's had a tough day. He struck out twice. Pitch high and outside, 1-0. Off the tip of the glove of the catcher, McCleary. Edgington down to third. Medwich to second. High and outside, 2-0. You gotta love these. There's Sooke Loggers fans here to our right side in the bleachers, and they are about as hardy as it gets, sitting in these bleachers, dealing with this weather. They could easily be back at their cozy hotel rooms watching this. I'm sure the players wouldn't blame them. But of course, probably committed to come out before this blast kind of hit. Up until about 2 hours ago, it just seemed like it was going to be cold, unseasonably cool. But just before this one started, this wild weather hit. That's a great ricochet for Quebec on that wild pitch. Came right back to McCleary. So the runner will stay at third. Medwich will stay at second. And Woluszka is on base with the walk. So Woluszka at first base with the walk. Here's Chad Bryden. singled, scored, and popped out or grounded out to the shortstop back in the third. Swings and misses. 0-2. Well, Jordan Graham a strike away from getting out of this inning. Sooke has their second lead of the game. Bases loaded. One and two. Here comes Jordan Graham. Just off the plate, 2-2. Edgington at third, Medwich at second, Walushka at first. And just off the plate, Graham thought he had his exit pitch. He'll have to head back to the mound, and here's your first big pitch of this game so far. A full count pitch with 2 outs, and the bases loaded. Fouled. Down the third baseline and out of play. They'll do it again. It's that time of the year you got that interesting combination. Swung on down the left field side and caught. What a catch by Matt Lessard in short left field. That could be a game saver right there. That would have probably scored 3 runs easily. Runners going on 2 outs. The left fielder was coming in as well, so if Lessard had not caught that, that probably would have gone out on a roll to deep left field, central left field, or moderately deep left field, and that probably would have scored 3 runs. So what a catch by Lessard. 2 hits, 1 run, 3 left on. And the play of the game so far by Lessard, taking a hit away from Bryden and keeping this a 4-3 game. Well, we're halfway home this wild and wacky one. 4-3. Been a crazy game on the field, a crazy game around the field with the weather. Janice Hunter on Twitter. Thank you, Janice. Good luck to the Loggers, cheering the team, and son Blake Hunter from sunny Cedar, BC. Mom, Dad, and Brandon. Hello to you guys watching. Cheering on Blake Hunter. Had that 6 RBI game earlier. 2 hot teams playing their best fast pitch going into the playoffs. Quebec just lost a tough one to 3 Cheers Pub. They are 2-3. The Sooke Loggers have won 3 in a row. They're 3-2. Here's Steve Savard. He struck out back in the first. Steve Savard, Jonathan Waugh, and Joe McCleary all coming up here for Quebec, trailing by a run once more. Out there for his 4th inning of work is Barkman. He's got 5 strikeouts. Barkman has only allowed 2 hits. 3 hits, sorry. But 2 of them were solo home runs. Just off the plate. The other run came in on that wild play on the bunt by Matthew Waugh. That's on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2. A swing and a miss, and a throw down to first to make it official. Savard out on strikes. The 6th strikeout for Barkman. Savard's 2nd strikeout. Here's Jonathan Waugh.
11, Jonathan Waugh.
Jonathan Waugh struck out back in the second. Joe McCleary to come up. He had the big blast to make it a 3-2 game. And Jean-Pierre Savard, should anyone reach. Watt digging in here. Here comes Barkman. Tried to lay a bunt down, missing. And that hurt the catcher, Brian Banner. So umpire's going to call time. Let Banner shake that off. And Barkman will take his time to give his catcher a time to recoup. We've now seen a batter, umpire, and a catcher. I'll get a little hurt there behind home plate. Of course, the big one was Medwich, who had to leave the game after got hit in the hand. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Starting second baseman. So Waugh and then McCleary. And Jean-Pierre Savard, should anyone reach. Good pitch there, 1-2 coming up on Jean Waugh. The 1-2. Strike 3 on Jean Waugh. He is out on strikes. That's the 7th strikeout for Barkman.
Numéro 25, number 25, Joe McCleary.
Joe McCleary. And Joe had that big blast. Mentioned at the time, reminiscent of Jim Thome, the former great Major League Baseball slugger. McCleary kind of looks like Thome up there. He's got the high socks going on. Open stance from the left side. Actually closed, I should say. Just off the plate, 1-1. It's a big hack at those pitches. Here comes your 1-1. Raining harder than it has all night long. You can see it from your backstop camera blowing in left center, right across the field. We're talking about getting some towels going on here. Two balls and one strike to McCleary. 2 outs in the 4th. Just off the plate, up high is the call. And now a 3-1 for McCleary. So what do you do here? Do you give in and groove one, or do you hold off? See if he'll swing at something outside and risk walking them. They'll come high, and McCleary will go down to first with a walk. Jean-Pierre Savard. Jean-Pierre grounded out to the pitcher in his last at bat.
Maintenant au bâton pour l'équipe du Québec. Le joueur désigné de designated player, le numéro 88, number 88, Jean-Pierre Savard.
Still a 5-1 game. They're going to the 6th inning over there at Field 1. We're here in the 4th at Field 2 in a 4-3 barn burner. Rain continuing to intensify. Wind blowing strongly. Again, the rest of the weekend is supposed to be not that bad, so they're just really hoping to get these games in so they can get everybody all set, all the matches set for tomorrow. One and one. Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. Big hack there from Jean-Pierre Savard. Just couldn't catch up to the high heat. And now a 1-2. Barkman a strike away from getting out. Chop behind home plate to the backstop. They'll do the 1-2 again. And now the third baseman, Bryden, has a towel in his back pocket. That's not bad for Bryden. He's got the big towel he's got to try to stuff down that back pocket. And once in a while he goes out and rubs that ball off for Barkman. 1 and 2. Strike three swinging is Jean-Pierre Savard. Barkman strikes out the side. He now has 8 strikeouts. So 8 strikeouts for Barkman. We go to the top of the 5th.
Après 4 manches complètes de jeu, l'équipe de la Colombie-Britannique a une avance d'un point sur l'équipe du Québec avec 4-3. At the end of 4 complete innings, Team BC leads the game by a score of 4-3. Up at bat for Team BC, the right fielder, number 24, Jesse Grieve.
All right, so here's Jesse Grieve, sorry. Grieve grounded out to shortstop back in the 3rd. Grieve, Blake Hunter, and Brian Banner. Jordan Graham out there for his 3rd inning of work. Replaced Rob Schweier back in the 3rd. Just 1 run allowed so far by Graham. That's hit well. That's out into right field over the head of Lebrec. Thrown in quickly by Darvaux. So a single for Grieve. He's at first base with a knock. Blake Hunter.
Up at bat for Team BC is the first baseman, number 12, Blake Hunter.
Blake Hunter walked and scored and flew out to center field. In there for a strike. The 0-1 coming up on Hunter. Brian Banner to follow, and we might see Barkman as well. In there for a ball, 1-1. 2-1. Graham wanted that pitch. Chop foul. 2-2. This rain literally started just right around first pitch. We started out the day in a sauna. The first game we had from field 1 was just as humid as you could possibly get. Little bouncer down to third. Safe at first is Hunter. Actually, throw called out. I thought I saw the safe sign down there, but Hunter is out. I swear I saw the safe sign. Hunter on a great play by Greer. Out 5-3. That was a softly hit ball. Greer did really well to get that out. And here's Brian Banner. Banner had the double to score 2 runs, walked, and scored back in the 4th. He's had a busy day. Down to second goes Jesse Grief. Sooke leads 4-3 here in the top of the 5th, in there for a strike. 1-1. Little chopper down to first. Covering is Lebrec. Nicely done. Savard to Lebrec. They'll get Banner 3-4 at first. And here's Tyson Barkman, the pitcher. So we had the high humidity. People were just roasting in the stands for our first game. Then we had the rain come. That's just the absolute one of the hardest rains you ever see. Halfway through our second game, the dark cloud came, and first pitch high and coming home, and standing up to score is Jesse Grieve. It's 5-3 for Sooke. So the base is empty. The 5th run in. 5-3 now for the Loggers in the top of the 5th. But then the rain opened up, and it was absolute downpour. Man, it was coming down. And then we had like an hour and a half delay. That is hit well to left field and gone. Tyson Barkman, a Bell Alliant bomb, and it is 6-3. Goes the opposite way. 6-3 for Sooke. And man, oh man, is this Sooke team playing good fast pitch right now. They are on fire, having won 3 in a row, leading this one 6-3.
The second baseman, number 16, Todd Belton.
They are going in to the playoffs, playing just as good as anybody at this tournament. Nice play down here by Savard. Takes it himself, and that'll do it for BC in the top of the 5th, but not before they score 2 runs. They send 5 men to the plate, get 2 hits, 2 runs. The big one, a solo shot by Tyson Barkman.
After the top of the 5th inning, Team BC scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base.
We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Jean Darvaux, Sam Lebrec, and Mathieu Waugh coming up for Quebec. So these teams are moving on, as mentioned, to the playoffs. Saskatoon will be on the outside looking in with the 1-5 record, just playing for placement right now. And if the Loggers go on to win this game, you can pretty much guarantee them a spot for sure in the double elimination games tomorrow night. A loss for Quebec, and that would certainly slot them in at the 5th or 6th place spot. So they would wait until Saturday and then play a single elimination game. In the 6th inning over at Field 1, still 5-1. Kelly's Pub over John Brown's Faucets.
Alors, au bâton pour l'équipe du Québec, le voltigeur du champ droit, le numéro 27, number 27, right fielder, Jonathan Darvaux.
Here's John Darvaux in the bottom of the 5th. Darvaux, Lebrec, and Mathieu Waugh. Darvaux struck out back in the 2nd. In there for a strike, 0-1. Darvaux swings and misses. 0-2 quickly. The 0-2 to Darvaux. Just off the plate, 1-2. Swing and a miss, Darvaux out on strikes. Sam Lebrec.
Maintenant, au bâton pour l'équipe du Québec, le 2e but.
Lebrec.
Le numéro 9, number 9.
Singled and scored.
Lebrec.
Back in the 3rd. Off the plate, ball 1. At the 0-1, chopper to short, Walushka. And out at first is Lebrec on the 6-3. So nice play by Walushka. And now here's Mathieu Waugh. Waugh had the solo shot home run, and then the bunt that just led to chaos for about 10 to 15 seconds.
Number 16, Mathieu Waugh.
Ended up with Lebrec scoring and Waugh tagged out in a rundown between 2nd and 3rd. In the bottom of the 5th. 9 strikeouts for Barkman. And they're going to take time here for Brian Banner. Again, I think that's the 2nd time Banner has been hurt on a chopper. Every one of those balls that you take around the batter's box, off the leg or whatever, hurt so much more in weather like this. The 0-1. Appeal down to first, did not go. 1-1. Up high, 2-1. While working his way back in his count, as mentioned, this is a guy who's walked 7 times in the tournament. Very common patient up there at home plate. He just wants to get on any way possible. And there for a strike, 2-2 on the inside. Just after 11 o'clock here in Charlottetown. Just off the plate, 3-2. The full count. Bouncing ball down the first baseline. And that'll be foul. They'll do the 3-2 again. Swung on, and a gorgeous play by Medwich, but unable to hold the bag was Hunter. Medwich, a diving play. Or sorry, not Medwich, the new second baseman came in to replace Medwich. He went out with the injury.
Maintenant, au bâton pour l'équipe du Québec, l'arrêt court, the shortstop, le numéro 26. Number 26,
Todd Belton.
So
Belton, a diving play, but unable to get the speedy Waugh at first. Hunter unable to stay on the bag on the throw. So Waugh at first. That'll be a hit for Waugh. And here's Mathieu Lessard. Lessard, first pitch swinging, and can't catch up. Lessard grounded out to third, and grounded out to the catcher. A 1-1 on Lessard. That gets past, going down to second. Is Waugh. And again, we'll see how much longer they hang with this. Basically wiping down a softball every second or third pitch. They're wiping down the ball with a towel there at third base to make it playable. Banner will go out and talk to Barkman. One ball and one strike. One and two. Barkman a strike away. Chop foul by Lessard. And again, they'll wipe down the ball. Mathieu Waugh, the runner at second. Two outs, a ball and two strikes on Lessard. In there for a ball, just low, 2-2. 2-2. They're in the seventh inning over at field one. 6-1 now for Kelly's Pup. Up high, 3-2. To short. Walushka, and unable to pick up the throw. They'll get the ball to home, but the low throw, Hunter couldn't squeeze it. I'll wipe the ball down again. But they would have had Lessard by a step. But the low throw. Here's Matt Greer. Matt so far struck out twice. The infield going to come in and talk things over. Tying run is at the plate in the form of Greer. Up high, 1-0. Down low, 2-0. Lessard will speed off to second base. So Waugh at third, Lessard as second. Barkman and Banner are going to talk again. Seven to 1, Kelly's Pup leading Fawcett's over there. There for a strike, 2-1. It's the worst it's been all night. Wind blowing now stronger than ever. The rain coming down harder than ever. 2-1. That gets past, and Waugh's not going to try it. And Waugh looks regretful down there at third base. I think he feels like he probably should have gone. Doesn't go. And it's still a 6-3 game. 2 outs. And 2-1 here on Matt Greer. And Barkman and Banner will chat this out basically every time. This is advantageous for Barkman. He's a pretty slow, deliberate worker anyways. Takes his time out there. Every time he gets the ball wiped off, gives him a chance to chat things over with catcher Brian Banner. The 3-1. In there for a strike, 3-2. In disbelief is Matt Greer. You'll have to dig back in there for the full count pitch. Trying to be that tying run at first base with Steve Savard, the cleanup hitter, On deck. Chopper. Walushka. This time he make the play. Walushka out. Or Walushka gets Greer 6-3, and that'll do it for the 5th inning. We'll go to the 6th in a 3-run game from rain-swept Charlottetown.
Au bas de la 5e manche, l'équipe Québec n'a aucun point, un coup frappé, une erreur et 2 coureurs laissés sur les buts. Team Quebec scored no runs on 1 hit. There were 1 error and 2 runners left on base. At the completion of 5 innings, Team BC leads the game by a score of 6-3. Alors après 5 manches complètes de jeu, l'équipe de la Colombie-Britannique mène le jeu par un pointage de 6-3. Now at bat for Team BC, the left fielder, number 15, Ben Edgington.
Here's Ben Edgington. Matthew Lessard unable to get him at first base. The throw came down the line towards home plate and unable to apply the tag. As the first baseman, Savard. So Edgington on board. And here's Nick Medwich. Well, friends, make sure you watch Inside the AUS this fall. We're back for our 3rd season on Bell Alliance Community 1. There's a chopper. Lessard at 2nd. So Edgington out 4-6. And Medwich at first.
Now batting for Team BC is a shortstop. Cool, number 11, Chris Walushka.
Here's Chris Walushka. But inside the AUS, your in-depth look at Atlantic University sport. Coaches, administrators, fans, and especially the players. Back for our 3rd year on Inside. BellAlliant.net/community1 and on your fiber op package on demand. Inside the AUS, Bell Alliant Community 1's top-ranked show. We are getting ready for our 3rd year. Varsity season is in the air. Next week we'll be in Acadia for the kickoff of the football season. It'll be a lot of fun. Perfect bunt and runners at 3rd and 2nd and 1st now. So the loggers here. Medwich at 2nd, Waskuska at 1st. And here's Chad Bryden. And of course, in conjunction with Inside the AUS,
number 3, Chad Bryden.
And our coverage of the AUS, AUS TV. Make sure you bookmark that on your browser. Every single Atlantic University sport webcast on AUS TV. Confusion for Quebec. Unable to make the play. Goes down the line, coming home to score 2 runs for the Sooke Loggers, and sliding into third is Walushka. So Medwich scores. Walushka scores. And that was Bryden sliding into third. Walushka and Medwich.
Not bad, the right fielder, number 24, Jesse Grieve.
It is 8-3. And here's Jesse Grieve with a runner at third. On AUS TV, all webcasts, whether it be exhibition, regular season, and the Subway Championships on AUS TV. Eight to 1 over there. They're still going at it in field 1. An 8-1 game in the 7th. That gets through the hole on the left side. 9-3 for Sooke.
Coming next at bat is the first baseman, number 12, Blake Hunter.
But a wild summer coming to an end here in beautiful Charlottetown. This month alone, we've been in Gander, Newfoundland, St. John's, back in Halifax, finishing up here in Charlottetown. A month-long Fastpitch baseball tour of Atlantic Canada. This weather reminding me of my 9 days in Gander, Newfoundland for the U18 men's Fastpitch. Pretty much every day was like this. This is the second time I've been to Charlottetown this summer, and I brought a tropical storm with me. Here in Charlottetown at the early July for the Atlantic Soccer Championships, and that's when Hurricane Bertha came through. And now Christabel, 6 weeks later. Trying to finish off the round-robin tournament here at the Senior Men's Fastpitch Championships. Just 2 games left to go. They're in the 7th over in one, and we're in the 6th here in the other. 8-1 over in field 1, 9-3 on field 2. An anticlimactic way to finish off an incredible day. Here is Brian Banner.
Now batting for Team BC is a catcher, number 38, Brian Banner.
We're in the top of the 6th. Runners at second and first. Jordan Graham just missing a pitch on the outside. And now 0-2 for Banner. Fouled off. That was a tough pitch. Should the Loggers hold on, they would improve to 4-2, be off to double elimination, and be one of the hottest teams going in to the playoffs. Fouled off again. Banner hanging in there, fouling off some tough pitches. Looking for one to drive with runners at second and first. Rolling one to the backstop is Graham. Runners move up to third and second. First base now open. One out in the inning. 2 runs already in. 3 runs, check that. A 9-3 game. And now Quebec trying to avoid going to the bottom of the 6th with a mercy situation. 3-2. Banner's worked his way back to a full count. Rolls one over, foul down the first base line. Another big gust of wind. Speaking of trying to keep the Bella Line Community 110 together, the hats off to the scorekeepers and PA announcers and the stats people trying to keep that area together. It's just been chaos over for them in that kiosk behind home plate. That is foul off. Well, Banner hanging in there. On deck is Barkman. Banner works a walk. The bases are loaded.
Now batting for Team BC, the pitcher number 8, Tyson Barkman.
They're finished over there at Field 1. Kelly's Pub goes on to an 8-1 victory over the Jean Brown's Faucets. So the last game of the round robin being played over here at Field 2. In there for a strike to Barkman. Barkman gets into one, and that is a no-doubter, a grand slam. A Bella Lion bomb, one of the biggest ones of the tournament. His second home run of the game. Give him 5 RBIs. Heads up. A no-doubter right off the bat. And it is 13-3 here in the 6th inning on the grand slam by Barkman.
Now batting for Team BC, the second baseman, number 16, Todd Belton.
There's Belton. And that will end the inning. Jordan Graham to first. Or sorry, that's only the second out. So Barkman goes yard. Edgington with 2 outs. First pitch swinging. Lebrec can't make the play. The inning will continue.
Now batting for Team BC is the center fielder number 4, Nick Medwich.
Scoreboard has 12-3.
From the center field number 1.
I've got 13 on my scorecard, but I wouldn't be surprised if my scorecard's wrong. I can barely see it right now.
The score is 8 for Newfoundland, 1 for PI.
So Kelly's Pub finishes off with an 8-1 win. I think that puts Kelly's Pub at 4-2, and the host team Faucets at 3-3. The Sooke Loggers began their tournament with a 10-0 loss to Faucets. That was their opening game. Lost their second game. Since then, they have rolled, including an 8-6 win over the 2-time defending champion 3 Cheers Pub from St. John's last night. Swing and a miss for Nick Medwich. In tight to Medwich, sorry. Chopper Another chance for Lebrec. He'll touch first or second. And that'll do it for the 6th inning. But what an inning for the Loggers. Capped with a grand slam by Barkman. To open this one up. And they'll go out to the field looking to finish off this Quebec team in the 6th inning via the mercy rule.
At the top of the 6th inning, Team BC scored 7 runs on 4 hits.
It was 7 runs, so it is 13-3. Yeah, okay. I see. You always got to trust your scorecard. One thing I've learned, even if your scorecard is wet and smeared all over the place, you still got to trust it. 13-3 is the score. They had 12-3 on the scoreboard, but they make the adjustment.
Et 3 pour l'équipe du Québec.
Steve Savard, Jonathan Watt, and Joe McCleary. Speaking of scorebooks, I'm going to have to head to Cleves to buy a new one in the morning. This one is like a big wet roll of paper towel now. So Quebec needs to score 4 runs.
First baseman, numéro 42, number 42, Steve Savard.
To avoid the mercy rule. Steve Savard struck out twice so far. Barkman out there after hitting the grand slam, trying to close this one out. 5 RBI night for Barkman with the solo shot and the grand slam. Fouls that one off. 0-1. Maybe the final half inning of round robin play here at the championships. What a outstanding round robin has been. Just so many different tosses and turns. Teams that at one point looked like they could roll through the round robin, then running into trouble. Teams that looked like they might be on the outside looking in after the first day, going on a roll. The heartbreak for a team like the Saskatoon Diamondbacks going 1-5, but losing 4 games by 1 run. The Three Cheers Pub looking like they're going to finish up, or they finish up 5-1, the 2-time defending champs. Their 1 loss to this Sooke Loggers team. And this Sooke Loggers team started off their tournament 0-2. They've won 4 in a row. The Masters play starts tomorrow. It is a 7 o'clock scheduled time tomorrow night, the first Masters game. Double elimination games tomorrow night. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Chopper down to first. And a nice play there, tagged out is Savard.
Le prochain frappeur est le voltigeur du champ gauche, the left fielder, le numéro 11, number 11, Jonathan Roy.
There's Jonathan Roy with 1 out. So Jonathan Roy, then Joe McCleary. Chopper. Barkman. 2 outs. Barkman feels his position so well. And Team Quebec down to their final out in the form of Joe McCleary. There will not be much of a post-game show once this one is over. I would not expect too much highlights, analysis, and interviews after this one. That special thanks to the incredible production crew at Universum Media for hanging in with us on this night. What an outstanding job they've done bringing this action to you from both fields. Our camera guy, Scott, stood up on those bleachers and took the brunt of this weather for 2 hours. I say Scott or Matt? Matt, our camera guy. Up there on the bleachers.
Au bâton, le receveur, le catcher numéro 25, Joe McCleary.
Joe McCleary, he had the bomb, a solo shot. Team Quebec down to their final strike. Barkman trying to close this one out. A 13-3 game in the bottom of the 6th. McCleary fouls that one off out of play on the first base side. In there for a ball. 2-2. Joe McCleary, does he have another one? That's gone. McCleary goes yard. Eerily similar to his first. 2 home runs for Joe, and he'll touch them all. What a blast by McCleary. Sending a message, this Quebec team will be heard from in the playoffs. At 2-4, they will very likely end up 5th or 6th place and be playing in that single elimination game on Saturday. But McCleary, a huge blast there. And now 13-4. There's Barkman again. And there for a ball. Just off the plate. Jean-Pierre Savard. Off the plate. And as we round out our night here, the weather has somehow reached even greater heights of wind and rain. A towel off the ball for Barkman. He gets ready for his 3-0 pitch. Try to get back into the count on Savard. A 9-run game. Quebec needs 3 more runs to avoid the mercy rule. A walk to Jean-Pierre Savard. He'll go down to first.
Maintenant au bateau pour l'équipe du Québec, le voltigeur du champ droit, the right fielder, le numéro 27, number 27, Jonathan Darvaux.
Here's Jean Darvaux. And the biggest gust of the night just touched down on us here. Swinging and missing is Darvaux out in front. 0-1 on Jean Darvaux. Inside 1-1. Out high, 2-1. And there for a strike, 2-2. Well, once again, Quebec down to their last strike. Strike 3. This one is over. The Sooke Loggers are moving on to a 4-2 record. Quebec will finish 2-4 here at the tournament. Players of the game coming up. They'll line up on the base paths, quickly shake hands.
Mesdames et messieurs,
And we'll get ready to move on to double elimination Friday. 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Make sure you go to the website, championship.softball.ca, senior men's, to see how everything plays out. Players of the game announcements coming up. I got a feeling it'll be Tyson Barkman for the Sooke Loggers.
On va faire le joueur de la partie. For Team BC, it's going to be the awards is going to be handed out by Cole Lund. There you go, Cole. For the Sooke Loggers, Team BC, the player of the game is number 8, the pitcher, Tyson Barkman.
No surprise there, Barkman. Got the pitching win on the mound. 5 runs, a grand slam home run, or 5 RBIs, a grand slam. And Joe McCleary, he had 2 solo blasts in the losing effort for Quebec. Friends, you've been watching a presentation of Bell Alliant Community One, your leader in local sports webcasting in Atlantic, Canada. The 2014 Senior Men's Fastpitch Championship, from Charlottetown. The final score here, the Sooke Loggers 13 and Team Quebec 4. We will see you tomorrow night for Double Elimination Friday. But for now, goodbye from Charlottetown.